Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning. Okay, this is the first week of the class, and today I'm going to give, but before that, let me welcome you to ELC231, and also ELC231 stands for Integrated Language Skills 3, and it is meant for Part 3 students. In part 1, you did ELC 121, and part 2, ELC 151. So this course is for diploma students, part 3. Okay, as I explained in the previous class, let me first, okay. So this is the course briefing. Okay. So this is my name, okay, my phone number, and also my office. Okay, some of you might want to know where my office is. My office is located on level 5 FSKM building. You might want to, know my office in case in the future for consultations and so on. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous class, okay, and we did what we did when it comes to the course outcomes, okay? I'd like you to tell yourself that by the end of the semester, you will be able to speak confidently. So this course is designed to help students to speak more confident, okay, based on non-academic issues in a social setting. And the second course outcome is, this is what you tell yourself, okay? I'll be able to respond to questions and applying a variety of reading strategies. And in the previous class, I've reminded you, okay, I went through some of the WH when asking questions like who, what, when, how, why, okay? So keep asking questions. And if you still remember, I reminded you to be your own best friend, okay? I asked you how did you feel about how did you feel today, and I also asked you to be your best friend, okay, to say positive words, okay, no matter how you feel, keep flip your mind and keep saying that, all use these all positive adjectives. I feel great, I feel thankful, I feel excited for the new semester. And also before we start our class, I've also reminded you to have your notebook and also your stationery ready so that you can jot down any notes. Okay, so when you look at the course outcomes, you tell this like at the end of the semester, I'll be able to write better essays, and I'll be able to do evaluative commentary in academic and non-academic contexts. Okay, so this is reflected in the weekly schedule. All right. So as I mentioned in the previous class, the first 4 weeks, okay, it's gonna be online. Okay, we're gonna have our first 4 weeks, 3 weeks in Ramadan. Okay, in Ramadan, and it's going to be done online. Even though every week we have two classes, 2 hours, yeah, each class. But the first 3 weeks is going to be conducted online. So I'm going to use Microsoft Teams, and the link is accessible on UFuture, and you are going to log in your attendance on UFuture, okay? And you're given about 2 hours to log in your attendance, and I will record, inshallah, I'll record the classes, and the recordings of the lectures will be available on my YouTube channel. All right. So this is the weekly schedule. And if you see here, all right, actually first, sorry. Okay, the first 3 weeks will be done online, but by week 4, after Eid Fitri, we will meet. Okay, so I'm gonna meet you on Monday, first thing in the morning at 8. So we're gonna have 2 weeks of lectures, and we will practice, okay, for the first assessment. The first assessment is on week 6, writing assessment. So we will build up the skills, okay, starting from week 1. And actually, first class on the first week, I've already given you some reading tasks. I will jog your memory. I'll go back to that after this. Okay, so this is the weekly schedule. The first assessment is on week 6, and the second assessment reading will be on week 10. Okay, and week 11 to 13 there will be oral commentary, and week 14 it's the writing assessment, evaluative commentary. I'll talk about it after this. So you can summarize that there are 4 assessments for ELC231. Essay writing, 20%. It will be done in the classroom. Evaluative commentary, 30%. It will be submitted online. Okay. And the mid-semester test focusing on reading, okay, it'll be done in the classroom on week 10. And the oral commentary, this will be done on week 11 to 13, right? So the first assessment on week 6, it's writing an expository essay, 250 to 300 words. The subject matter will be topical, cause effect, problem solution, the theme, yeah? And then it will be done in the classroom, individually. You won't be allowed to bring a dictionary, okay? And the mid-semester test will be 1 reading passage with 10 reading comprehension questions, and it will be 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, so before the mid-semester test, we will do some samples of passive questions. All right. And for the evaluative commentary, that's 30%. Okay. It's a pair word. It's about 300 to 400 words. Okay. You do an outline and evaluative commentary of an article about 500 to 600 words. Okay. And submission will be done on UFuture. Submissions of all assessment will be done on UFuture, and for evaluative commentary, it will be submitted on week 14. Okay. As for presentations, we're gonna have oral oral commentary. It's an individual task, 5 to 7 minutes. What you do is you choose an English movie or television program. Okay, it'll be done on week 11 to 13 in the classroom, face to face. All right. So if you have any questions, you can post it in the group WhatsApp. Okay. And I'll address the questions so that, you know, what you have, like your classmates might also have similar, you know, they might also have issues, similar issues. All right. They might also have the same thing on their mind. Okay. Now, next is I'm gonna share. So if you still remember, yeah, I also went, just a minute. I also went through the course information. It's the course information. Okay. I also went through this, the course information, course description, and I've already shared this on YouFuture. So this is accessible, the course information, and these are the summary of the assessment. Okay. I've also shared, I've also went through in the first class, the weekly schedule. So it's very important for you to have the course information so that you know what to expect from this course. All right. And also what are the assessments. In the previous class, you shared your disappointment and you know that 50-50 feeling about studying that. When I asked you how did you feel when you got your result, okay, and there's nothing much you can do about what is past, but what you can do is for ELC231, if you're aiming for an A, okay, so you should start from now. Okay, so so it's very important for you to know the assessments so that you know what to focus on and how you can do well. Okay. And also the weekly schedule would guide you what are the learning outcomes for each skills, the writing, reading, speaking, okay, and the tasks that I recommend in order to accomplish these skills. All right, to improve these skills. Okay. And if you remember, okay, so I went through this, the weekly schedule and also first week learning outcomes. And I I told you that for this class, we'll be using Reader's Digest magazine. Okay, so this is it's a magazine that comes out that's available every 2 months. It used to be a monthly magazine. So this is the magazine. Yeah, I have the magazine in my office, and I've been using this magazine in my classes, right? So I told you that you'll be getting your magazine when you come back, when you come to the campus. All right. So for the first 3 weeks, we'll be using the online version. Okay. And I gave you the link to rtasia.com. And you if you look at here, there are several topics, there are several themes. If you go to Reader's Digest Asia, these are the several themes, yeah, and I ask you to choose which theme do you I mean, like, to choose an article under any of these themes. So let's say I would choose advice and true stories, and under advice and true stories there is another subsection, inspirational. Okay, let's say I want to choose an article which is inspirational and thought-provoking. Okay, so this is the title of this article, Daily Habits of Natural Born Leaders, by Alison Tass. Alison Tass is the writer of this article, and she's also a life coach. And in this article, Alison Tass shares the daily habits, skills, and mental shifts of natural born leaders that will help you to put in charge. So this is the summary of this is the title, and this is the caption, and this is the author, the writer of the article. So here, leadership quality. So in this article, you have the main ideas bold, so that you are able to identify the main ideas immediately. And if you look at the weekly schedule for reading, you should be able to skim for general information and scan for okay. But for writing, identify topic, sentence, and thesis statement. So in this article, this can be the thesis statement. So what are these in this article? The writer shares the daily habits, skills, and mental shift of natural born leaders. So that's the thesis statement, what's the whole article is about. And for the main ideas and the supporting ideas, if you look at the article, yeah, leadership qualities, so that's the first main idea. So remember to take note as we go along, yeah. Leadership is a collection of skills you can cultivate. Okay, so it can be the introduction. So that's the first one. They see opportunities where others see challenge. Okay, so this is a short paragraph. Okay, so leaders can see opportunity in situations and more importantly, help others to find it. So this is a main idea of this paragraph. The next one, when an industry is disrupted, that's because someone saw a better way of doing things. So this is explanation followed by explanation. All right. And this is the concluding sentence for that paragraph. They recognize that it isn't said until everyone says it. Okay. So this is the next paragraph. You don't have a clearly defined plan until you have a clearly articulated plan. A good plan is shared by the team so that everyone can move toward the same goal. Okay, so this is in this paragraph, the author gives an example, okay, of a CEO. And it's like a story, okay, explaining what does it mean by this sentence, all right, by that point. Okay, to help you get people on board with your vision, make a conscious effort. They know they are role models. So remember, as I told you, you are your own best friend. So you tell yourself, after all, you have been brought to this world to be caliphs. Okay, so you must know that you want to be the role model for others. All right. So in this paragraph, the writer shared her own story. Okay. I asked hello and he responded crazy, how he was crazy like usual. He's a therapist talking about being crazy. Isn't his goal to help people to be less crazy? If he can't do that in his own life, how can he help people live theirs? So this is her point. As a leader, you are the ultimate role model. People are watching you all the time. How you walk through the hallway, what you wear, observing how you treat people, when you get to the office, when you leave, what you eat, okay? So this is another point. Good leaders take great care of themselves with adequate sleep, exercise, and good eating, okay? So in the previous class, I asked you to choose articles from here, these topics, and choose an article and then identify the main idea and the supporting details and identify the relationship within the paragraphs. So as you read, okay, this is quite easy to identify the main idea because it's already in bold. So as you read, identify the main idea, okay? Like this, they have plans. Good leaders have a plan, okay? And good leaders share ownership, right? And they take risks. Good leaders take risks thoughtfully. All right. So these are the daily habits of natural born leaders. Okay, so when you aspire to be leaders, all right, so maybe you can take some tips from this article. And another thing that I ask you to do is to identify new words, vocabulary, right? This comes under reading, yeah. And also, so when you read the article, you also see how the writer describe and explain the daily habits of good readers, good leaders, right? And also, mm, and also using contextual clues to identify meanings of words and phrases. Let's look at the article again. Let's say when you are reading and you come across some words, new words, okay? Let's say disrupted, okay? What you can do is you can just go to Google and you just copy, paste, and you get the meaning. And remember, write down in your notebook. Remember, I told you to write down in your notebook. The first one is on attitude of gratitude. If you don't know how to start, and remember the verse that I shared from Surah Ibrahim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, la in syakartum la izadanakum. The more grateful you are, the more Allah will bless you. Okay, that's from Surah Ibrahim. And one of the habits of great leaders is to cultivate attitude of gratitude, that is to be thankful. So in the previous class, I asked you to reflect. Number one is to be able to express how you feel. Okay, let's say I feel excited, I feel grateful, I feel thankful, I feel calm. Even though you might feel tired and bored, or you might not really enjoy having class from home. You look forward to go back to the campus, all right? But as I reminded in the previous class, it's better to be thankful. But if you can just flip your mind, what are the things that you are thankful for? Okay, one of the things is you learn new things today. You are a better person today than yesterday. How can you be better than yesterday? By learning something new, learning new words, learning new skills. And the skills that you have learned in ELC121 and 151, you would still apply it. And that all this, the first semester, second semester, and third semester, they are all going to help you to prepare you for your MUET examination. All right, let's come back to disrupted meaning. You can check the meaning in the dictionary. If you click here, you can also listen to the pronunciation. You can keep on clicking as many times as you want, and you can repeat the pronunciation. Disrupt here, it's a verb. The past tense is disrupted. Past participle disrupted. It means interrupt by causing a disturbance or problem. And this is the sample sentence. So there are some examples here explaining the word disrupted. So here, when you see is disrupted, that means this is a verb. It's a present tense, but it is in a passive form. All right. So there's another word. Let's say, let's look for another word. Yeah. Let's say this word articulated. All right. Again, you can click on this icon and you can listen to the pronunciation, and you can repeat, listen, repeat, listen. That's how you improve your pronunciation. And articulated here, it's an adjective, even though it looks like a noun because of this ed, but it's an adjective, just like words like disappointed, excited, frustrated. Articulated is an adjective. The difference between an adjective and a verb: an adjective describes the person's feeling. Okay, it can be meaning here two or more sections connected by verb, or an idea or feeling expressed. One of the first articulated, how you articulate, how you put your emotions into words. Like, hungry, tired, calm, excited, disappointed. Okay. So, and also, you can also check out the Cambridge Dictionary, okay, for the meaning of articulated. So you can do that for other words, and you can, if you want to remember these new words that you just learned from reading the passage, what you can do is you can write it down in your notebook. That would help you to boost your memory, your understanding, and also your to remember. Okay, remember the words. All right. So I've introduced you to that. So I guess that's it for today. Okay, it's just a short lecture. Okay. We're gonna have a speaking activity right after this lecture. So please let me know, how do you feel about today's this is the second class for ELC231. Let me know how you feel so far. And then, have you learned a lot of words? And also, have you read any articles? Share with me the articles that you have read for this subject. And then thank you very much for your time and your attention. Yeah, we'll continue on WhatsApp.